Bridget Bartlett here. I am the president of visionmarketinganddesign.com. And today is actually part 5 of our series on how to create an agency website. This is actually something I'm really surprised that I had not done so far. But it is something that everyone constantly asks me. How do you create an agency website? We know we have tons of templates for sales funnels, but as an agency, we need to have a website so that we can be found and people can see all of the services that we offer. So I'm really excited about this training because it's actually my favorite part. It is the part where we create the images for our website. So we've already talked about, creating brand colors. We've done some market research. We've chosen our fonts, and we've actually written the copy. So if you've missed any of that previous training, definitely go back in the replay section of the group website, visionmarketinganddesign.com. You can register for free. We'll go into all of that in just a second. Let me show you around. But I wanted to say hi to, is it Val B, maybe? How are you? Alfredo's here. Maria. Hello, Mia. Okay. Awesome. Okay. Let me go ahead before we get into today's training. I want to show you around the group coaching program so you know where to access everything if you're brand new. Let me move these things around here. And let me share my screen. Okay, so if you go to visionmarketinganddesign.com, you can register your free account. All you need to do is click to register or log in. You'll see that if you are not a Builderall member, you can click here, become a Builderall member, and you can actually get my lead generating system for free. All you have to do is sign up for a Builderall account. If you're already a Builderall member, you could just register here inside of Team Vision. We do have an affiliates program for our services, so you could use us as a white label agency. And if you are someone who is an experienced Builderall user of the tools, even if you have just experience in one tool, like creating websites or maybe chatbots or something like that, definitely sign up to be a freelancer. I am definitely always looking for Builderall tool users. Okay. So if you want to get access to the live group coaching, you can click here. As long as you're logged in, you'll get access. All you need to do is click here to enter your name so I know who's commenting, and then I can see your comments here. This is actually the only place that I monitor comments while I'm live. So if you want me to see your questions while we're live, definitely make sure that you access the page here. I am live Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so you can click here to access the Zoom link on Fridays. That is the only day that we do Zoom. It's Q&A, so definitely check that out. And also, if you have questions during the week, you can join our Telegram group. I also have a Telegram channel so that you can actually watch the most recent replays. If you want to check out any of the tools, you can do that here. And if you're brand new, you can schedule a free 15-minute strategy session with me to hopefully I can guide you in the right direction. If you want to check out the replays, you can access that here in the menu, or you can click here to go to the replays. I have all of our courses here, nice and organized for you. And you can also access all of the replays here, which is why, because I divide them in category here, that's why I created the Telegram channel so you can find the most recent. Right now, we're working on the Create a Web Agency website, and so we're on I can't talk. Part 5 today. If you click here, you can actually see the live broadcast. So it will be there for the replay. Okay, so if you're interested in private coaching, you can definitely check that out here. Here's my reviews, blog, any of our services, plans, and you can shop the PLR products and access my favorite tools here. Okay, you can also get the lead gen system here. All right, so let's actually get into today's training. So like I was saying, we already did some market research. We have 3 examples here. We created this kind of checklist for us so we could, keep track. Anytime I'm working on a website, I like to have, this sheet. I actually have a more advanced version, but I just like to keep something like this so that I have a place to reference, right? So every time I'm working on it, I have all the things that I've researched here in one place. So we have our example examples here. We have our hex codes for our branded colors and our font choices. We also have a logo created, and I always put the Canva, because I use Canva for everything. I always put the Canva template link here. That way, if I am sharing this with a freelancer, they can make any changes they need to the template, or copies and sizes, anything that they need. I also have the copy that we actually went through. We created this together. So I have the headline, the subheadline, but there is a lot of text here. You can see for our landing page, we actually have, let's see, 19 features. So it's going to be a long landing page, and we actually need images for all 19 of those. So definitely a lot of work that goes into creating a landing page with the copy and all of that stuff and the images. So that's why I wanted to walk through this and create it live with you. That way you can see every step. Now, of course, we're not going to create images for the entire website today because that would take too long, but I want to get you started. I want to get you an idea from the example that we used, how you can create your own images for your website. Okay, so you can see here, we're on the images section. So of course, let's go to our example site that we're using. Before I do that, let me make sure that I move this replays over here so I can make sure to monitor your questions as I go through. Certainly don't want to miss them. That is the reason that you join live, right? Okay. So let's go to our example website. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to hold off on this first fold, okay, because I'm not quite sure the image or what I want to put there. It's the most important one. So I want to hold off on this, okay? I really want to start with all the feature images. So you can see here, what I'm looking at as far as an example here is they have a main image, okay? And it's not a square image, it's kind of elongated, and that's a good idea because you have these panels. It's like a long, not so tall, but it's very wide panel, okay, when you're building a website. So you kind of, instead of having it square, it's better to have it kind of elongated like that. It just looks better for the design. So that's something I'm noticing. Also, they have these little images on top of this image and a little graphic here, and there's a shadow behind it to make it kind of, give it some dimension. And then it looks like the same type of thing here. So there's a shadow, there's that same little graphic. They're just changing, what corners they put it on. And then there's an actual like screenshot of the tool. So if I want to create this for Builderall, I probably want to create, a graphic here like they have where it's, showing the website. The important things to notice about this graphic here is that they're showing you kind of a live view. So this is really just a mock-up, which is really, that's easy to create. This might even just be a Canva image all on its own. And then we just want to do like a screenshot of the, cheetah panel, right? So I have this pulled up here. So we would just do a screenshot of like maybe this, right? So we want to replicate what they did. Obviously, we don't want to steal the designs, and it's not going to be stealing anyway because they're showing their own white label tool, and we want to show Builderall, but we don't want to show the Builderall name, right? We're trying to white label this as much as possible. At least in the beginning. So because remember the call to action for this landing page, it says plans and pricing, which we're going to use that idea as well. But the plans and pricing actually goes into scheduling a consultation. So they will never see the price or the name of Builderall until they schedule that consultation, which is really, really important. Looks like Ray is here. Ray and Shawana, hello, hello. Okay, so let's get started creating. Let's do this first graphic. Okay, now I was playing around here because there is a creative process, and so I tried many different ways of doing this. So I just want to show you kind of from scratch here. Actually, I could show you kind of what I was working on before. So what I did was I wanted to create that little, this little design aspect here, of course, but I didn't want to completely replicate it. So what I did was I just went to elements and then I typed in dots. So you can see there's many dots. This is exactly what they use, which is what made me think they designed it on Canva. So there's, many options here. I thought, so what I did, same process. I just started like, whichever one I liked, I just clicked on it and then moved it to this panel. You can change the color here. So that one's on, it's white on white. So if we just wanted to change the color. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just scrolling through, I type in dots and I'm like, okay, well, that kind of looks cool. Maybe I didn't want a dot. Maybe I wanted, another design kind of like this. I mean, that is dots, but it looks a little different. I also kind of use this one. As you can see, I drag this here. It is dots, but they kind of fade out. So I just was playing around with that a little bit. And so I found an image. This is kind of what I came up with. I'm not sure if I love it, but it's just an image here. Let me just recreate this for you. Okay, so I went to images and I typed in or no, it was marketing team, because that's usually what I start with, right? So I actually, I kind of looked through here. I wanted to find something that looked like teamwork. So this would have been a good one, but I did end up choosing this one. So you can see that in the background. But when I chose this one, I knew, if I want to make this transparent and I want to put, or not transparent, I wanted the around here to be transparent because I want this graphic to show, right? So, and since this will be the whole image, you see how I chose this one. I made it a brand color, but the actual image needs to be not the whole image, right? Because when we download it, we want that little graphic to be hanging off the edge like that. So what I did was I took this image and I made it this inside of the grid, okay? Because we really need it to be consistent with all the rest of the images. We want all of these to be the same, and it's better to build your image on Canva and make it, for example, this looks like, three images really. You have your graphic here, you have the actual image, and then you have this kind of overlay image and it's layered, and then you have the shadow back here. Well, it's better for your website for this to be one whole image rather than, three images, because it'll make your website run slow. Also, if we want to put any animation, like you see how those slide in when you scroll, the fade up, right? So that's the effect it's taking. So we want all these images to move together. Okay. So it just makes many, many reasons why it makes more sense, especially when you're talking about how they move over and resize inside of, on a tablet, on the different mobile devices, on different screen sizes of desktop. So there's many, many reasons why it best serves you to create the one graphic. Okay. So what we're looking at here is just like three images with one graphic. Okay. And then we have like, maybe like a H3 title, an H2, and then like some paragraph text, right? And then a button. So those are the elements that we're using on here. So it's really image and then these things. So let's go back here to our graphic. One thing that I actually just learned, which is incredible, is that in Canva, we have the ability to put the shadow back here. Okay. So, like I said, I just learned this. So if you click the image, you can go to effects, and then you'll see down here, it says shadows. Okay. Now, if you've never used it before, it'll be down here and then you'll have to choose shadows. So that's super, super cool, because that really, with the ability to put that in Canva, it really helps us when it comes time to actually put the image on the website. Okay. So because, for example, since we're not using this whole background here, we're going to make this transparent. We don't want, if we put a shadow on the image, on the actual website builder, then this frame is what will have the shadow, and that's not what we want. We just want this image. Okay, so now that I just saw this on Canva, that really gives us the flexibility of doing a lot of really cool things for our design. Okay, so if you see here, this image, I have sized it to match the grid in the middle. Okay, that will make sure that no matter how many images we create, that we're remaining consistent. All right, so let's go let's go to our shadows here, and I'm just going to click glow. And you'll see here that it creates this whole shadow, right? So it adds a lot of dimension. I am so excited. Oops, let's go back. I am so excited about this feature. Let me go back here and go to effects, and then we'll create it again. Okay. So now let's go to elements, and now we want to choose, those dots, right? Or some kind of design to put behind that. So I actually chose this one. And anytime you have an element, even if it's black and you think, oh, black is black, you always, every little detail really, really matters in your website design, right? So what I want to do is actually make these dots a branded color. Okay, and I can make it like the dark blue, or I can make it like the medium blue or the lighter blue. What I kind of chose on here was this lighter blue, just because we don't really want it to stand out and be so obvious, but we don't want it to be, blending in with the white background. Okay, so what I want to do is I'm going to take this image here. I'm going to come up here to where it says flip, and I'm going to flip it horizontally because I want to keep it in this corner here. Okay, but I don't want it to be to where you see the dots on the image. So I'm just going to go to position and then move it backwards. Okay, so that's my image with the dots. But now we need these images or some way. It doesn't have to be this exact way of doing this. I just want to show you kind of my thought process and what I was thinking, because I obviously did not want this to be the same, even though I really love this. And I love, what I wanted to focus on when trying to replicate this, okay, is what this image does is it shows one person, and this one person is the success manager. Okay, so the message that this image is giving is that there's a whole team working with you in this marketing team, right? But they don't just do a picture of a team. What they're doing in this image is they're showing you visually what team you have, right? So you have this one success manager, and the success manager is the main picture, okay? And it has success manager here. I love that they use success manager instead of just like your account manager. So they're already saying, hey, this person is in charge of your success, right? And this person is on the phone looking busy and smiling, and you can imagine the team members, like which team member is he talking to, right? It could be the social media manager, and here's a picture of a real guy who's the social media manager, right? And then here is a picture of the real person who's the content marketer. Here's a video pro person, here's a designer, and here's an ad specialist. So in this image, they're showing you that there's one person that is managing all of the team, right? So when you sign up with this company, you have one person who manages the team, and they have a team to back them up, right? So I hope that made sense. So that's the purpose of this image. So that's what, the message of the image is what I want to relay when I'm creating my own, right? So that's kind of what I did here. I didn't want to just put an image of a team. I wanted to choose some images and then definitely say, what is this role? What's this person's role? Now, obviously, these are stock images, and this is me because if I'm creating my own website, I want to have, me as the strategy specialist, right? So I went ahead and I just went this route. Okay, so how did I do that? Let's go to the elements, and then let's just type in shapes. So let's say square. And you see we have a square here. Okay, so I'm just going to shrink this down a little bit. And the square can be a branded color. So the color that I chose was just a dark color, so the dark blue or blackish color. And then I can just duplicate that. But before I duplicate, I always like to set one up perfectly. So you can actually go to elements again, and then you can choose frame. And you'll see here, the reason that this is a frame instead of just a round circle is that whatever image you put in here is going to take the shape of this frame. Okay, so I'm going to just move this to this square because I want the round image of the person, right? And then I'm going to take some text and I'm going to choose the text here that I want to use. So let's shrink this down a little bit. So I just want to design this one. I'm going to go up a little because I don't want it to be just directly in the center. I'm going to change this text to be white. Okay. So this is basically the layout that I have now. So I just want to go up here and then duplicate this whole thing. And of course it didn't duplicate everything. So let's duplicate this and we'll duplicate this. And if we had grouped them together, it would duplicate all of that, but we'll just duplicate this and this, and we'll duplicate this. Okay. So now we have that. Let's go ahead and duplicate it again. Okay, so you guys get the point. I really don't want to take up all of your time with these things. That's obvious that you just watched me duplicate, right? So um, now with the images, the reason that I chose the frame is because I want to go to photos, and then I just want to type in like, let's say woman. Okay, so here's an image of a woman. I want to choose one that looks professional, like she's part of the team, right? So let's say, I think I chose this one. So I'll just take, oh, I don't want her to take up the whole thing. So I'm going to just take this image, and then if you drag it over the frame, you'll see that it takes up the whole frame like that. So then I'm just going to type in man. And then here's an image of a man, so I'll just drag him over. And as soon as I drag him over, you see the little arrow. That's where it's going to be. So as soon as I drag it over, I'll just place him there. Let's look up another woman here. Let's see if I can spell woman correctly. And let's go ahead and just choose her. We'll hover over. There we go. If you want to adjust it, all you need to do is bring it in like this, move this around, and then you can have her in the center and click done. Okay, so you guys get the point there, right? So when you create your image, and I will say definitely do this. Download before you go on to the rest of the images, right? Because we definitely want them to be consistent and the same size and all that. So we really want to create all the images at the same time. But you definitely want to download one image first and then see what it looks like. Okay, so I'm going to go to best practice is PNG. You can reduce the quality to like 60. That'll help you a lot. But the thing is with this image, since we want to use a transparent background, it has to be PNG. Okay, so what you can actually do is click transparent background and then compress file. Okay, that will make it smaller. And this is a pro feature, so if you're not a pro member yet, it's definitely worth upgrading. I mean, I think I talk about that every time that I get on here. It's like $12 a month, and it's incredibly useful and saves me so much time. If you don't have a Canva account yet, you could go to myvisionagency.com/Canva, and then you can actually get a 30-day trial of the Canva Pro. So I highly recommend it. All right, so this is actually image 2 that I'm going to download. So instead of downloading all of the files, I just want to download this one because I was just kind of playing around with the other ones. So I'm going to click done. And then, so it says transparent, compress for a lower file, and then I'm only downloading page 2. So I'm going to click here to download. And once it downloads, what I want to do is I want to go to my Cheetah website. Okay, and this is actually just a playground that I'm using because I want to see what the image looks like on the website. All right, this is a really important step because this will save you a lot of time if you just test this out first. Okay, so I want to go to image, and you'll see that we have some options, and this is what I was talking about with the shadow. How it makes a difference. I'm going to choose a shadow option. Actually, I'll just click it. And then I also want to choose just a regular option. Okay, so here's my shadow option. And then here's my regular option. So I'm going to click here and we're going to upload our image. I'm going to go to general settings. We'll upload the image here. So it was test. Make sure I have the right one. watch, I can't find it. QRS. Okay, maybe it's not in here. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to show in folder to see where I downloaded it. So it downloaded in downloads. So let me go to select file and downloads. And except it was this downloads. And let's look for test. And there we go. And open. And so here is our image and save. Okay. So you see, we chose the shadow image, all right, which is cool. And that's actually the effect we wanted. But when you put it in the Canva or when you put it in Cheetah and you choose the shadow image, do you see how it puts the shadow on the outside, even though that's transparent, right? So you can see that it's supposed to be transparent. But let's go here and choose the same exact image and I'll show you the difference. So this is what it looks like without it being a shadow image, okay? So we still have, now how cool is that? So we still have the shadow there, but we also have the transparency, which allows us to have this added feature here. Okay, so definitely, this is why you really, once you decide to start creating your images, always kind of get the design idea down and then actually download it and then upload it to your Cheetah website. That way you can make sure, when it's actually on the website, that it is the look that you're going for. Okay, so if I say that I absolutely love this and I want to move on with my images, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go here and I'm just going to delete this now, and I'm going to delete this. And now I'm just going to duplicate. Okay, so now I have my images basically just ready to go, right? I have the template, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete these things because this is not going to be the template that I use when I'm accessing the tools or I'm showcasing the tools, right? So I'm just going to delete all these things, and then all I'll have left here is just an image with that shadow, right? So I'm just going to delete all these. Let's delete this. Okay. So if you look at the next image here, I want to do one more with you, and then you'll understand this whole flow and how cool it is. Okay. So the next one, we're showcasing websites, right? So I need an image of a website. So I want to go back here to Canva, and I already have the shadow effect. I already have our little symbol here. It's the correct color and everything. So let's actually go to photos and let's just type in website. Okay, so let's just scroll down here. Is there any image of a website we wanted to use? Let's just scroll down. I did not look at this one ahead of time, but there's so many cool images of a website. So I want to find, like, this one would be maybe a good one because it does show. I wanted to find one that had, the mobile to show it's like mobile friendly. So if you just drag that over, except that looks kind of like Google Images. So let's keep scrolling until we find a website, kind of similar to that because it shows the website and the mobile front. So this one is kind of cool. Let's just say this one. Okay, so we'll choose this one. All right. And so now we need like a screenshot, except you see our shadow effect went away. So we'll just go back to effects and we'll add our shadow here. And there we go. It'll put the shadow back. So let's go to Cheetah now. Let's move this over to the side. And let's go to add and elements, okay? Because I want to get like the same type of image, but I want it to be of our Cheetah builder, right? So let's go to just I use the snippet tool. Every Windows computer has snippet, but there's hundreds of them if you Google, if you don't have one. You can literally, if you're on Windows, just type in snippet and it'll come up. So I'm just going to click here. I use this a lot, so this is what I just keep it down here in my taskbar. So I'm going to go to new, And when the screen freezes like that, it gives you the ability to, screen capture. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the top of this here where my little plus sign is, I guess, and I just want to screenshot this area. So I'm just going to move these things over and get a good image. Okay, so that looks good. Now I'm just going to go to edit and copy, and we'll go back to our Canva image. Let me put this down here. And then to paste the image, since it's on our clipboard right now, right? So to paste the image into Canva, what you need to do is click on Control and then keep the Control held down and then V. Okay. So now we have this image here. All right. So this is our actual image. Now I could move this up here. Definitely need to make sure that, okay, so this is actually much smaller than this. I don't know why it shrank the image down, to be honest, because I actually just discovered that cool shadow feature. And I definitely want these images to be at least fairly the same size, right? So we just play with this a little bit because it needs to be consistent. Let me see if I can move this in the middle. Okay, so you see the little pink grid lines that lets you know it's in the middle. Now I'm going to take our screenshot here, and I can stick it over this. I would like, all right, let's move this backwards. So we'll go to position. Let me move this. I don't know why. Oh, I see. Because this is in front, maybe? Okay, go to position. Now I don't know why it's not letting me move this back. All right, and it's not letting me move this image. All right, so you guys can see how I troubleshoot things. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I don't have any idea. Canva has been like giving me some kind of issues today. I'm not really sure why. But let's go to, let's choose this image again. And we'll just choose website. Okay. And let's put it in the grid lines here, and let's add a shadow. When in doubt, start over. Okay. And now we have, oh, but it just moved that. It just made it like the whole image again. Okay. So now we'll go to shadow. Let's get that shadow effect back. Oh, not this. Oh, but you know what? I didn't mean to make that a shadow, but now I really like the shadow effect on that. So let's see if it lets us do two shadow effects. So do you see, you guys, how this is just like nobody really knows all the answers, right? It's all, but if here's what I do. Okay, so right now, this is being very cantankerous, and it doesn't like to put the shadow with two images on top of each other. So what I would have to do is I'm going to add a page down here. I'm going to take this image. I'm going to drag it down to this page right here. Okay. Now I want this to be the shadow. Okay, I want this image to be a shadow, but it's acting all funky when I try to put a shadow on a shadow. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to download this image as a transparent. So I'm going to not do all 4 pages. I'm just going to do 1 page. All right, so I'm going to download and download, and we'll continue editing. Now I want to go to upload, and I want to upload that image I just downloaded. So it should have a transparent, or it should have a shadow, right? So this has a shadow. Make sure this has a shadow. So we'll go and add that there. And now I need to go to uploads and then choose my image. Oh, stop. Okay, let's do this again. Effects and shadow. All right, so we have a shadow image. Now I want to drag this here. Okay, guys. So when this happens, like I was saying, you may need to just download images individually. Stop. Let's go backwards. Let's add the shadow and I'll show you. We'll just do this one too. I thought if I downloaded one that it would be good enough. And it does say we're having trouble. Canva's having trouble, which is so strange because I never have really witnessed Canva having trouble. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to download and I'm going to do transparent background and I'm going to choose page 3. Okay, so page 3, we're going to download this. All right. So now we'll go to uploads and all right, we're having trouble loading shadows is what it says. Okay. I see that. I see that, Canva. Okay. So we'll go to uploads. Let's try this one. We'll upload this image. Okay, so this is how you get around hashtag figure it out, right? Okay, now here is our other image, but I don't think it has here's the one with the shadow. All right, so I'm just going to shrink this in just a little bit here. And we can do this nice overlay. Let's expand this a little bit. All right. So cool, you guys. Okay, so now we have this image here. So I want to download this image. This is going to be our first image. Okay, so we'll go download and transparent, remember, and we want to compress, but we only need page 5. You can tell which page it is right up here, page 5. So this is that's the process it took us to design one image. Now you see why when we do web design, we ask the client to provide the images unless they want to pay extra because it's a lot of time it takes. So let's go upload this image now. So let's go to add an image and we'll choose this one here. And let's go ahead and click edit element and change image size. And it's called test 3. So we'll go down here and do test 3. And we'll click here to select the image. And here is our image for the second one. Okay, so you can see, let me just delete this here. So this would be like image 1, and then we have image 2 down here, okay? So then, of course, we would have like text over here. This would be on a different banner or a panel. So let me actually duplicate that. We'll get rid of this because I just want to show you guys the layout because this is definitely important in the testing phase, right? So I'm going to delete this here. Every time you create, a different type of image, always test it out first. Oh man, it will save you just so much time. I just can't tell you. I always think about how can I help you guys save time and the little tricks and things that I've learned along the way. Okay, so oops, I don't want that. Let me shrink this up a little bit. Okay, so as we're building, we kind of have the groundwork done. Okay, so we have our image here for our website. Now I want to show you this. And so here's our team, right? Here's the first one. Here's the second one for our website builder. And here's the example that we used, right? So here's the team. And then here is our website builder. And let's go back here. And that's what it looks like. So if we preview, that would be like what the live version. So it's very, very similar, but you can see it's definitely not copywriting. It's different images. Everything is different. But we took someone else's idea and we made it our own, right? Because we want to focus on the builder all tools when we are highlighting the tools that our agency is using, right? And we want to focus on our team and the things that we offer. So that's really, really important when you're creating your web agency website. So what you need to do is take the same process. Once you're happy with the design, you take the same process and then you just replicate that with all the other tools. Okay. So definitely, if you looked at our list, we have lots of images here. So just to get through the features, we have 19 images we need to create. So it's definitely a time consuming process, but the end result is so, so worth it. Let me see here. So, really, guys, that's all I had for you today. I hope I've taught you something with the images. I can't wait to see all of the cool ways that you guys use. I love to see when I teach you guys something, and then you always like flip it around and blow my mind with the way that you take a little bit of knowledge and then you just expand it and blow it up into something really, really cool, and then teach me something. That's what I really love. So anyway, that's all I have for you today. If you are not a member yet, of course, go to visionmarketinganddesign.com, become a member. It's totally free. You get all the tools and, or not the tools, you get all the training and the courses and all that stuff that I have available for you. So I will see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Go make your vision a reality. Bye.